just going to go ahead and begin. Make sure you guys can see my screen. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the questions and everything. First of all, thank you guys for showing up here today. And let me go ahead and just read this quick risk disclaimer and then we'll begin. Major League Trading is a provider of education, is not a registered financial advisor, nor do we have to be. I'm not registered with the SEC or any other federal, national government regulatory authority or any state securities government or regulatory authority. And the businesses and activities of Major League Trading do not require such registration. Guys, trading involves risk. You must be aware of these risks. And basically, don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Don't trade with your savings. Don't trade with your child's tuition. Don't trade with your rent. Obviously, standard risk disclaimer before we begin. Feel free to screenshot this and read this. I want to talk about here today how you can actually turn your trading career from a hobby into a job. So being more than just a temporary hobby trader and have to actually go about getting hired by a prop firm where you actually have a job that you can tell people that you have trades. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today. These are my students from all over the world. In fact, on this map, I am currently right down here in Costa Rica. But I am originally from Chicago, right up here. You guys can let me know where you're from. I have students, and you can see all of these countries, and it's crazy as far as South Africa, Guyana, every single continent is covered here. So I always find it interesting how people come across Major League Trading and become part of our community because it is such a diverse and wide-ranging community. But when we begin this presentation, I want to start off by asking you guys your goals in trading. So let's go ahead. I want you to grab a pen and paper if you don't already have one. If you have one, great. If you don't, grab one right now. I want you to write down your goals with trading. I think it's really important that people actually set goals when it comes to trading because it's so easy for us to get ahead of ourselves and forget why we got into trading. So a lot of these things that people have a problem with when they first start trading, I'm going to address right here. Some of you guys probably can relate to this stuff. Number one, limited trading education and lack of mentorship or guidance. When I first started, I had very limited trading education. I did not have a mentor. I did not have any guidance. And then number two, limited trading hours. A lot of people, when they begin, they have limited trading hours because they don't do it as a full-time job. It starts as a, let me go back to my presentation. Starts as a part-time gig, and that's what it was for me when I first began trading. Most people want trading to be their full-time job so you can achieve all of those goals. And then number three, a lot of the things that people run into when they begin trading is access to sufficient capital. And when people have access, they don't have access to sufficient capital, they tend to over-leverage smaller accounts and blow them out when people first start trading because if you have limited education, you're probably not aware of the risk controls that you should be under when trading. So that leads to a lot of people to blow out. So I'm going to address all of these issues here and talk about how you can actually go about solving them. Now, my goals when I first started trading, I'll go over with you guys. Number one, obviously to be able to trade for a living. I wanted to fully support myself financially in trading. I wanted to be able that to be my job. I didn't want it to just be a side hobby where it was like generating some income that would maybe better me in life. I actually wanted it to be my full-time gig. Part of the reason I wanted it to be my full-time gig was to create a geographically neutral job to pursue the lifestyle that I want anywhere in the world. And that's as Jeanette said, that's kind of the situation I've built for myself. Right now, that's actually a picture of me in Costa Rica where I'm currently residing. So wherever you are in the world, here I am able to talk to you. That's what's so cool about trading. I do think that's part of the allure of learning to trade. Now, a couple other things I wanted to do when I began trade is to back other traders, to actually provide other people the opportunity to scale up, not just teach people, but to provide them an avenue where they actually have a job trading. It's not just, hey, let me show you this method I use. You can talk to me every day. It's like, let me show you what I do, and then let me get behind you and support you and help you achieve your goals that you've written down here in trading. So to be able to share this opportunity with other like-minded individuals is absolutely amazing, and I always appreciate Jeanette having me on to share my story with you guys. And then one of my other goals, which I've accomplished and continue to accomplish, is using my gains to reinvest in other opportunities, whether that be real estate or startups, to spread my investments around, to just being outside of trading, so I have multiple streams of income. So I've broken down trading here and really what you need to do to achieve your goals into a 3-step journey. Now, trading will never be as simple as just doing 3 things, but if we could just group it together in a 3-step journey, this would be it. Number 1, you have to learn the basics of trading. A lot of people skip right over this, fund an account, and then find themselves playing catch-up with their own trading education. Number 2 is when things get a little more difficult, they have to master the strategies of success. So you actually have to learn strategies that are going to make you a profitable trader. And then number 3, and this is what I have done for my students in my program now, is actually provide them capital with partners that we have. We have partners that we work with that actually provide funds to trade, and then that can actually allow you to have financial freedom. So that's going to be talking about here today, how to get yourself $50,000, $100,000, or possibly even $150,000 of other people's money to trade. You're no longer having to risk your own personal life savings to pursue your dream. That's a situation I was in when I began trading, and that is a tough situation mentally, it's a tough situation financially, and it's a tough situation emotionally, especially if you're not even ready. So this is kind of what I'm doing to give back to the trading community. And this is a course I built with the co-founder of Major League Trading, Eric Marcus. So it's called our MLT Pro Trader, and I'm going to be talking about that course here today. We have 4 special guest instructors. It's Brian Caprice, Robert Shapiro, Perry Wilkie, and Robert Gill. So not only are you going to be learning from me, but in fact there's other members or other educators who are in this course that have actually been trading 30 plus years, which, believe it or not, is longer than I've been alive. So I always love to, I have my own strategy, but every single trader who's successful has some kind of value to add. And so I've thrown in really 5 of the best traders I know into this course to make sure that we cover all of the bases so people are ready to get a prop job, to be funded with outside capital. So we start off with step 1. So as I began at the beginning of this presentation, talked about the different steps you need to learn. Step 1 is learning the basics of trading. Some of you might feel like you already have this down. In fact, if I was watching this webinar, I would probably say, you know what, I got this down. But it is so important to review the core basics of trading, and that is everything we go over in the step 1 of the boot camp. We're going to be talking about futures day trading. This is a futures course. The capital that we provide with our partners is for futures trading. Some of you guys may have never traded futures before, but after this presentation, I guarantee you're going to want to look into it. Whether you pursue that avenue or not is going to be a decision that you will make as an individual. I can only try to persuade you for the benefits and the reasons that I believe that futures trading is one of the best markets for people to trade, especially when they can get the capital of an outside investor and they don't have to worry about putting out 50 grand of their own money. Part of the trading process is understanding the basics of trading. If you've been trading for a while, like I said, you're going to know this stuff. However, if you're completely new, this is where I'm going to catch you up to date with everything that you need to know about trading. This entire phase is designed to leave you with no questions left unanswered, so your head's not spinning with the information. We provide all of it in great detail. Don't know anything about trading? That's okay. I didn't know anything about trading either when I began, and the truth is every single great trader, every single great trader is new and at some point knows nothing about the markets. I do apologize for the background noise. It's going to be coming in and out. I do not have a headset right now with me, so I apologize. You can maybe try turning the volume on so you don't get that, but right now I do not have that. So step 2, guys, we're going to be talking about futures trading. So futures trading is what this course is based on. Now, futures trading may sound complicated to anyone who's never heard of it, but it's actually pretty simple. It's just like stock trading where you can go long or you can go short. So you can bet that the market's going lower and make money, or you can bet that the market's going higher and make money. But the big benefit here is futures traders are going to be taxed at a lower rate than stock traders. And the market is open 23 hours a day. That means for those of you who have jobs, you have time to pursue this. Now, if you want to trade stocks, you basically have the 9:30 Eastern open till 3 o'clock to trade. And if you work a 9 to 5, that means the market is open. So either one, you're going to risk losing your job by trading from your phone or maybe from your computer during your current job. And that's probably not a good idea. But with futures trading, the market's open 23 hours a day. You can be trading in the evenings. In fact, when the stock market's closed, the futures markets are open. And lately, with the markets we've been having, the after-hours trading has been incredibly volatile, providing a lot of opportunity for futures traders. These are 23-hour markets, and you can trade markets across the globe from anywhere. Futures used to be traded on what's called the floor, but now everything is done online. This is actually a picture of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. If anybody ever heard of the CME, back in the day, everything was bought and sold by hand. It's actually fascinating that people agreed to sell millions and millions and millions of dollars basically just on the word of another trader across the room. You better have heard them right. There was plenty of errors that had happened, and millions of dollars were made and lost during those errors, but now everything is electronic and online and being taken over by people like you and me. And for those of you guys who know, and some people are pretty disappointed about it, the futures markets on the floor are basically dead, and they're considered dinosaurs. In step 1, we're also going to be covering a risk management mindset, your mindset, goal settings, and habits. We really want to prepare you for what you're about to encounter, because with this program, our goal is to get you funded with our partners. So we're basically hooking you up upon completion of the trading test that we are going to put you through. We're hooking you up with a trading job where you're going to be trading capital from outside investors. So it's very important that you have your goals down, that you have proper habits, and that your mindset is good. So we cover this very deeply. Part of the psychology is this course, and then we move into risk management, which is one of the biggest things when it comes to being a consistently profitable trader. So I want to talk a little bit about what separates good traders from bad traders, and that's basically risk management. You've probably heard the statistic that 90% of day traders will fail to make money. I'm not going to debate that statistic, but what I am going to tell you is that these failures are a result of trading with lack of education and the inability to truly manage risk. These are avoidable failures in my opinion. These are failures that I encountered when I began trading because I was not even aware of my own failures, because I never seek guidance until I got my butt kicked in. To be honest, that was kind of the way I learned. Unfortunately, that is the hard way, but you don't have to learn the hard way. You are going to learn these steps which are the most important part of being a consistent trader in step 1 of the NLT Pro course. Risk versus reward. Every trade is going to carry risk, guys. You cannot get in a trade without risk. If anybody is telling you that there's no risk on a trade, they're straight up lying. There is risk on every single trade. Now, risk can change, but risk is the one thing that as traders we should be able to control upon every single trade. So when I'm looking at any individual trade, I will say I'm only going to say risk $100 in this trade. So I should never lose more than that $100. That is me controlling the risk. Now, every trade also should have a potential profit target. I like to say that my trade should at least have a risk 1 to make 2 risk-reward ratio. So I will look at a chart and ask myself, if this trade works, will it give me a $200 winner? If the answer is no, I do not take the trade. Having a risk-reward ratio that favors to the upside every single trade you place is crucial. If you're constantly going 1-to-1 and you're betting 50%, you're actually going to be losing money because you're going to have to pay commission. So if you're risking 100 to make 100, even if you're right half of the time, you're actually going to have a slightly negative edge because you have to consider the cost of those commissions. So this is something you always need to be aware of with every single trade. And the cool thing about futures is every single trade I enter is a bracket order. So my stop is automatically placed as well as my target, and then it's just about being repetitive again and again. So I want to talk about risk-reward ratios as well as the strike rate or win rate you have to be hitting to have a positive expectancy in trading. Most people don't even realize that what a positive expectancy is, and they never even measure their own positive expectancy. If you do not measure your win rate or your positive expectancy, how can you know that you're going to be a profitable trader? Why would you ever put money in an account and begin trading without understanding and recognizing these statistics? So a risk 1 to make 1, guys, you're going to be having to hit 60% of your trades to be making money. Let's flip that to risk 1 to make 2. Now you can be right 40% of the time and start padding your pockets with dollars. That's why we're all here, right? I mean, we're not here because trading's fun. We're not here because we like sitting on the computer. We're here because we want to make money. It's really that simple. When you bump that up to a 3-1, you can be right 30% of the time and be profitable. That means you're losing 7 out of 10 trades and still making money. Bump that up to 5-to-1 and you can be right 20% of the time. So understanding your risk-to-reward ratios as well as your win rate is crucial to trading, and these are the types of lessons that we're going to be dissecting and asking you to go in and show us and learn that these are the numbers you need to be hitting to be a profitable trader. If you can, then we have partners who can provide capital. Risk 100 to make 100. Let's see. Make sure. Get the mouse off the taskbar. For some reason, my taskbar is frozen, so I cannot. I can try pausing this. All right. Taskbar is slightly minimized. All right. This is what my standard trade looks like here, guys. This is what my standard trade looks like. Risk $100 to make 200. You're looking at a chart of the S&P 500. Looking at a chart of the S&P 500. So if I'm risking $100, that means I have a 2-point stop in the S&P 500. So I've made a little bit of a diagram here of what a 2-point stop looks like with the 4-point profit target. So this would be 4 points to the upside, this little red dot, so that would be your exit. The green level is your entry, and the gray level is your stop. Now, every single trade I place, those orders are automatically put out there. So as soon as I enter, there's an automatic stop and an automatic profit target that are set out there. The full 50%, this is what I call a 50% retracement or a Fibonacci sequence. This is one of the entry mechanisms that I teach in the MLT Pro. It's very simple. It's a low drawn to a high divided by 2. Now, I'm not necessarily looking for the biggest move here. I don't need a 20-point move. I don't need the 8-point move. I need a 4-point move to make this trade have a positive outcome before I have it move 2 points against me. So what I'm looking for is reactions off specific levels. Now, there's a couple of other strategies I'll show you guys here today, but before I do that, I want to talk about what I believe is actually, for the most part of the trading day, the best position to take, and that is cash. The best position is cash most of the day. Sometimes that's the best trade. Most people don't realize or recognize that sitting on your hands can be just as an effective strategy as actually placing a trade. Many people, especially day traders, feel like they constantly should have an order or a position in the market, when the reality is most successful day traders only take about 3 to 5 day trades per day. So that's a lot of sitting around waiting for a perfect entry, and that's what's going to separate those who are just impulsively trading every new bar they see versus those who are patiently waiting for setups that they know. Especially when you first begin trading, I really think patience has a huge part of your profitability. So I want you to get better at risk management today. If there's going to be anything that you take from this webinar, I want it to be getting better at risk management. So I have a little bit of a lesson I want you to do, and you can do this on Monday. Obviously, at this point in time, the markets are closed here, or with the holiday, but only allow yourself on Monday 5 trades. Now, if you don't have an account set up a demo account. You don't go in doing this live. Just see how this works on a demo account. Begin practicing. This means that you have to be very selective about what you're willing to trade. You're not just going to jump in on anything that comes your way. And after you trade the best levels and leave the rest. That's kind of my saying. Trade the best, leave the rest, and be patient. Only take trades where you have a realistic potential to double your risk in profit. So for simple math, risking $100, you need to be able to make at least $200 back if you are correct. Anything else is truly not worth taking. There is plenty of opportunities every single day for trading. There's no need to have a poor risk-to-reward ratio when entering setups. Now, when you think about the fact that you can only take 5 trades a day, that's roughly about 1 trade per hour that the market is open. So that's not a lot of trading. This is going to let you focus on quality setups. Now, I like to specifically focus on 5-minute setups, and if you really, really want to get into it and get focused, print out the chart of every market that you trade. You should be able to say, yes, that's a great setup and it is worth taking. If you find yourself looking back on your entries saying that was a poor entry, that was a poor execution, that's when you know one of 2 things. 1, you're not prepared, or you haven't studied the market enough, or you don't know enough about trading to enter setups, or 2, you're jumping ahead, you know what you're doing, but you're not executing on what you know. So doing this simple lesson, guys, I guarantee it will improve your trading. I really, really encourage all of you to do it on Monday. We're coming really close to 2019, and just doing one simple thing like this. Maybe you'll want to do it once a month. Once you realize how it's going to increase your patience and how it's going to increase your concentration and increase your focus on only the best setups. So step 2 of the course, guys, that we have here, I'm going to be talking about all of the strategies I use to trade. I basically use 2 different methods, but there's other methods taught by other instructors in this course, and you will find something that suits you in our course. See here. Okay, so one is the trend trading. We're going to teach you guys how to trend trade on futures. Then I'm going to show you guys my pinch indicator, which is a momentum-based indicator. It's how I select markets that are trending. Specifically, within the last week, natural gas. My goodness, oil to the downside. We've had some of the most fantastic trends in this market. And if you're not on the right side of those trends, I guarantee it's been a very painful few months. But the trends have been really, really good here, guys. I'm going to show you a Fibonacci strategy. So if any of you guys have never learned Fibonacci's, you're going to learn everything you need to know about the Fibonacci trading method in this course as well. And then I'm going to be talking about my leg start and swing mark code, which is these little dots down here that I use to determine support and resistance levels to place my orders on. We also have a strategy called divergence, which Eric, who's the co-founder of Major League Trading. I don't think he's in here today, but normally I have him come on and talk about that, but I will talk about that unless somehow I could be made aware if he's in here. But we are going to be going into a deep dive on journaling, everything you need to be tracking within your personal results, treating trading like a business, what information should be recorded, how often should you be journaling, breaking down the mindset, beliefs about money, beliefs about trading, limiting beliefs. These are all lessons that we have in our course to really prepare you for our combine, which I'm going to get in here in a moment, how to get yourself and your hands on $50 or $100 or $150,000 of other people's money. This is an avenue to have a job, to learn, to trade, and actually be hired. That's what's so cool. This program is set apart from anything you've ever seen because there is truly an end goal. Okay? I want to talk about here, this is where we're going to get into the details, which at some point you're probably wondering, oh, how do I get hired at a trading firm? So our partners are Top Step Trader, and this is called a combine. So this is basically a test for trading futures, and upon completion of that test, you can receive $50,000, $100,000, or even $150,000 of their capital. In fact, this is a test I've taken, and I now have $100,000 of their capital. So this is awesome to be able to provide this opportunity to other traders as well. And I want to talk about how this program is going to work. So you have a profit target. Your profit target during step one of the combine on the $50,000 account, you can double this, you can double all of these numbers for the $100,000 account, is $3,000. So on a $100,000 account, it's $6,000 because you have twice the amount of contracts you can trade. You're only allowed to trade during permitted times and products. So what does that mean? That means you cannot carry a position in the close. This is for day trading. You cannot carry a position from 3:15 into the next day. You have to be closed out. If you do not close out your position, you will break a rule. Okay, so this is how you pass the test. You cannot lose more than $1,000 in a day. If you lose $1,000 in a day, you do not pass the test. You cannot lose more than $2,000 in a week. If you lose $2,000 in a week, you do not pass the test. So simply put, you have to make $3,000 before losing $2,000. Okay, well obviously you want to continue to make money, but that is going to show that you are a consistent trader. Now you do have to trade a minimum of 5 days. In these types of markets, honestly, with one contract, you can make $3,000 in a single day. That's a 60-point move with one contract. You're having 60-point moves, 2-3 times a week. It's pretty unrealistic to catch the bottom and ride it all the way to the top, but you get the point. The ranges are huge in this market, and these profit targets are completely attainable. I want to explain to you what you have to do to get funded here. How realistic is it for you to actually achieve these profit goals? So these are the amount of points you need to trade, or you need to earn per contract. And for those of you guys who don't understand how futures contract works, the ES is the S&P 500, the NQ is the NASDAQ, the RTY is the Russell, YM is Dow, CL is oil, and GC is gold. So these are an example of some of the markets you can trade. In the S&P, if on the $50,000 account, where your profit target is $3,000, you have 5 contracts that you can trade, 5 S&P futures contracts. You need to make 12 points per contract, okay? And that can be a mix and match of any of these. It's not like you have to make 12 in the ES and then 30 in the NASDAQ. It could be like 6 points in the ES and 15 in the NASDAQ and 6, and you can be a combination of any of these. So there's 2 phases to pass the test. The first phase is a minimum trading period of 5 days. The second phase is a minimum trading period of 10 days. That means this test can be passed within 15 days, and you can have $50,000 or $100,000 account for you to trade. Now, if you can pass these tests and you can put up these numbers, you should be able to replicate that in a live environment. The thing is, you're not going to have to risk your own money because we're going to work with our partners at Top Step Trader to put the capital into your hands. So $3,000 is the goal here, guys. If you can hit that, you got this. You can land yourself a job. 583 traders have been funded this year, and on average so far, they make $549 a week. That's an extra 28 grand a year. For a lot of people, that's a lot of money, and for other people, maybe not so much, but I'll tell you right now, if somebody told me I can make an extra $28,000 a year with somebody else's money, that seems like a pretty good avenue to go about learning how to trade. You no longer have to empty your bank account to figure out whether or not you're good enough to beat the market. That is what's different about this, guys. This is something completely new, and I'm so excited to be able to work with our partners to offer this. For the NASDAQ, these are just two quick examples I actually put together. That move in the NASDAQ right there, I just highlighted here, that's 30 points. So this entire move, that's the profit target of the combine. And that was actually, let's see, that's from like 10:30 to like 11 o'clock. So that, I mean, granted, that's full size. You're not going to be trading, but I want to just, really show you in an example that these goals and these profit targets that we have are not radical, they're not extreme, they're not like extremely difficult, they are totally attainable. This is a 12-point move in the S&P 500, and this is in the overnight session. Once again, talking about those of you guys who, maybe work during the day, or you're a teacher, or you got to watch your kids, or you go to school, whatever your situation is, these markets are open in the after hours. In fact, this move right here, that's 8 o'clock to, the next morning at 7 o'clock. So the entire evening, these markets are open. They're available to trade for those of you guys who find yourself busy during the day but really want to participate in something and really want to either maybe make extra income or replace your job. This is a perfect avenue for you. Now, what I want to share with you guys is my results. I would never ask somebody to take a test, that I myself could not pass. To be fair, I'm going to let you guys know I didn't pass this on my first try. You have multiple tries that you can take the test. It's basically if you break a rule, those rules I mentioned before, like if you lose $1,000 in the day, you can reset your account for a fee. So if you break a rule, you can reset your account. So it's not like, if you take like the test to get into like Harvard or something and like you don't do well, you take like what do they call it, the SAT, you take the SAT and you don't do well, you can take it again, and as you improve in your trading. These were my results that I passed with, and I have a $100,000 account with our partners, and my average for the first 5 days, I averaged $2,246 a day. These are my results right here from the test that I took. I traded crude oil, the Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. You can see my winning day percentage was 100, and these are all of my statistics below. My win rate was 71%. And my average winning trade was $575. Now, that's a really high win rate for me, to be honest, but having a positive win rate and bigger winners and bigger losers, that's the type of formula that's going to lead to success we're going to be talking about through this program. These are all of the other markets you guys can trade. I don't trade even half of these, but they're available. If you want to trade in the evenings, I recommend that you trade the Japanese yen because the yen is moving. The Japanese are waking up as we're going to bed. And then if you stay up really late, you can stay up for the European Open, or if you live in Europe, you can trade the euro, also the Australian dollar and gold. A lot of these markets, guys, they move at different time frames or different times of the day. So you have your regular indexes that most of us had heard of, S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell. And then you have the Dow, which most people who have traded have heard of the Dow. Then you can trade things like oil. There's plenty of opportunity for you to trade. The ones that have the weird closing time frame, you have to be out at like 1:30 Central, I believe. It's like lean hogs, live cattle. I don't trade hogs. I don't trade cattle. If you're from a farm town, maybe you want to trade that and it interests you. go right ahead. You just have to be aware that these close at different times than the rest of these markets. So then that goes into the permitted times you can trade. These are some of the rules that you're going to have to follow during this test to earn the $100,000 or earn the $50,000. All positions have to be closed by 3:10 p.m. Central Time, guys. So just so you're aware, 3:10 p.m. you have to be out of the market. If you're not, you will have broken a rule. Why this is important? Now, remember, when you're trading other people's money, the capital investors, our partners, they have a strict set of rules because they know what it takes to make traders successful. And this is just, put over every single one of their traders. Their traders have to follow these schedules. Now, you don't want to be exposed to risk when you can't get in and out of the market. So why carry a position when the market is closed? So that's one of the important rules here that you have to follow. Now, that's all for phase one. Like I said, you have to trade for 5 days minimum, so you could get this done next week if you wanted to. And then it's followed up by what's called the phase two, which is a scaling phase. Now, the first phase is to prove that you can be a profitable trader, and the second phase is to prove that you can manage your risk. So it's a little bit of a longer time frame that you have to trade for, and that's 10 days. Okay, you can, once again, the same time frames apply. You can't carry positions into the close. The weekly loss limit is $2,000. The weekly loss limit is $1,000, but you cannot lose more than $2,000. So if you have $50,000, you cannot draw down $2,000. Now, there is also what's called a scaling phase. Now, even though you have a total of 5 contracts you can trade, until you make $1,500, so you bring your account from $50,000 to $51,500, you can only trade 2 contracts. From there, you can trade 3. And then once you hit $2,000 in profits, then you can trade 5 contracts. The reason they do this is because they don't want to give you $50,000 and then have you lose $1,000 right off the bat. So it's basically just kind of easing you into the system. Now, once you prove and pass this phase, then you are given $50,000 or $100,000 to trade with, depending on what account size you took the test on. So this is a fantastic opportunity here, guys. These are my phase 2 results here. On average, my average P&L was actually a little lower. I only had to trade I had to trade 10 days, but on average I made about $1,000 a day. My average winning trade was double the size of my average losing trade, and my win percentage was it wasn't as good, it was still 66%, but you can see my average winning trade was extremely high here, $5,580 positive on my average winner and minus 238 on my average loser. And then these are the exact results that I had to pass the test. You can also see the time of my winning trades versus time of my losing trades. So everything that I went through and passed, you guys are going to have the opportunity to go through and pass. Now, I want to talk about the benefits of joining this program and partnering up with us. I'll tell you the truth here. So how it works here, I'll go over the pros first, and then we can talk about the cons, and I'll answer all your questions at the end. Pros, you don't have to risk your hard-earned money. When I first started trading, I was delivering pizzas, and well, guess what? It took a real long time to save up money to fund an account, and that really hurts when you lose that money. So being able to not have to risk your hard-earned money and put that money elsewhere, that's a huge advantage. Number 2, you have guidance that keeps you following rules. A lot of times when people begin trading, it's as simple as literally opening an account and wiring over funds. There's no criteria you have to meet. Nobody's there is telling you that you're doing it wrong. And I mean, you're maybe losing money, but nobody's telling you why you're losing money. That guidance keeps you following your rules, and it gives you a set of rules and a lot of structure. That's really important. Structure to trading when you first begin, having that professional guidance looking over your shoulder is really important and can really help you move forward in your trading career. And another pro, you can take all the money in your own trading account and invest it elsewhere. Maybe you want to buy a home, but you got $50,000 in your trading account. That could be a down payment on the home, or it could be money in your trading account. So you're able to free up capital. And then the other pro is you can still work wherever you want. Here I am living in Costa Rica for the winter. I don't live here permanently, but I basically moved down to Costa Rica for 4 months because Chicago is kind of cold. So even though I'm working for somebody else or trading for a firm, I still have a lot of flexibility. They don't tell me that I have to come into the office every single day. Now the cons, you're going to keep 80% of the profits instead of the first 100. The first $5,000 you make, you keep all to yourself. After that, you only get to keep 80%. But I mean, 80% is pretty good if you ask me. You are giving up 20% of those profits, and that's what the capital contributors get for taking on the risk. Another con, you cannot swing trade the futures contracts. Now, we've had great markets for swing trading, especially to the short side, multiple down days in a row. And it would be nice to swing down, but you can't do that. So that's a little bit of a con, but you have to understand that swing trading increases risk because you have to hold positions into the market closes. And then another con is you have to be responsible. You have someone to be responsible for your losses. And you can look at this as a good thing or a bad thing. But basically, if you lose money, you're responsible for that. Now, and you can obviously be fired if you're having poor performance. If you break the rules and lose money, you can lose your account. That is definitely a con. But at the same time, because you're responsible to somebody else, you're probably going to be a better trader, especially if you find yourself reckless or if you find yourself getting into the bad habit of revenge trading. You're going to have somebody step in, looking over your back and let you know, hey, man, take a breather, take a day off, and come back. But all the rules are plain and simple, and you're aware of them in advance. So location neutral job, guys. It's time you get one. I actually took these pictures this week. So just to show you a little bit into my lifestyle, yesterday I spent Thanksgiving at Manuel Antonio National Park in Costa Rica. Took this really cool photo of an iguana, super exotic, I know. And this is the beach right by my house. It's me and my girlfriend hanging out in the national park yesterday, enjoying our Thanksgiving. This is what basically a location neutral job can do. And me here talking about how you can turn really trading into more than just a hobby, but you can actually make it your job. And I want to encourage you guys, not only am I going to show you how to trade with my program, I want to talk about everything you're going to get. You're going to get private chat room access. Okay, so this is step-by-step guidance every single day. This is lifetime stuff, guys. We're going to give you paper trading access. So while you're actually going through our educational program, we're going to set you up on a demo account. Now, this is before you actually take the test to become a funded trader. This is just to get your execution down, learn the platform, understand all of the metrics and how futures trading works. We're going to start you off on a paper trading platform so you can get all of those basics down. That's going to be included here. We're going to hook you up with all of the charting software we use, all of the settings that we use. You can, of course, use your own charting software. I use Thinkorswim. If you use Thinkorswim, great. It'll be easy. If you don't, feel free to learn it. If you're stuck on TradeStation, or if you love TradingView, or if you love any of the other charting softwares out there, there is no requirement to switch charting software whatsoever. It's just if you don't have it, never used it, we go over it, we cover it, we make sure you know everything you need to know. So what you're going to get today as part of this trading course, you're going to get our day trading course, which is a $1,999 real world value. We have our trend trading course, which is a $1,499 value. The level-to-level course taught by Eric Marcus. We're going to be having a mindset class, psychology class, risk management class, goal setting and habits class, private chat room access, and paper trading access. Just this part of the course alone has a $6,591 value, but I am doing a Black Friday special bonus. We are going to be including our Major League Trading Divergence Indicator, which is created by Eric Marcus. Eric, if you're on here, I'm not sure if you are, because I cannot see all of the attendees. feel free to just speak up. If you're not, I'll just take it from here. But guys, this is something, Eric and I have known each other for over 5 years now. And we didn't really have a business relationship at first. We just kind of had a trading relationship, and he had this super cool indicator that I always wanted. It took me 2 years to pry this indicator out of his hands, and he has now included it as part of this course. It's a $1,000 value, and the first 30 students are going to get that as the Black Friday special here today. And that's Eric, my partner at Major League Trading, and this is the divergence indicator. You can see it marks arrows. He won't tell me exactly how it works, but basically it marks arrows when there is a divergence between the indexes of the futures and the other markets. So it's a really, really cool indicator that Eric is going to be including in today. So bonus number 2, nightly videos and morning trade plan for life. What does that mean? It means no subscription fees. We're going to hook you up forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. This is for the first 30 students only as well, guys, and this is bonus number 2. You can see every single morning we do actually 2 morning videos. One is done by me and one is done by one of our other instructors, a guy named Perry Wilkie, who has I like to call him the mad scientist. He is probably one of the smartest traders I know. He has more information on the markets. The guy is a human algorithm, and I love working with him. I have my own ideas about the markets. He has his own ideas about the markets, but every single day I make sure to wake up and listen to what he's got to say before I even think about what I want to do. This is going to be included every single morning as part of this program. This is bonus number 2 for the first 30 traders. And like I said, guys, this is lifetime access. This doesn't mean that you get it for 30 days and then you got to pay more. This is it for life. Bonus number 3, we're going to be providing you guys 3 mentorship sessions. Now, this is going to be a fast action bonus. This is for the first 10 students only. So for those of you guys who sign up, the first 10 people are going to get 3 mentor sessions, which is basically a small group class where we are going to be privately helping you complete your combine goal. So we're going to help you pass these phases, answer all of your questions. This is where you'll go through the tests. You're going to send us your data via email, and we dissect your trading data and let you know where you need to work on and what you need to improve upon to get your account up and going and get yourself funded. So there will be 3 mentor sessions hosted by Eric and myself on the steps you need to take to pass your combine on the first try, and you'll be able to learn and ask us questions directly on your trading journey. This takes up a lot of our time, and we care about your success, so we want you to join us. We want you to be there. If you can't make the scheduled sessions that we do record them, so you can always watch them in the future. But this is really just our best outreach to help you guys go to the next level and make sure that you guys get funded. So everything you're going to get today, you're going to get our MLT Pro Trader program. You're going to get the MLT Divergence Indicator, which is a $1,000 value. And then the bonus session for the first 30 people, they get lifetime access to trade plan and nightly videos, as well as the mentoring sessions for the first 10 people. That's a $15,000 plus value. But also, there's a fax action bonus. If you do sign up here today, it's lifetime access to our chat as well, where we talk futures, stocks, and Nadex. We actually have 3 different chat rooms. We have futures chat room, stock chat room, and Nadex chat room. So there's everything to learn. We are also going to be posting scans in this chat room. This is called my bull and bear scan. I basically scan for markets that are trending up and trending down every single day, so you guys can be aware of what markets are strong and what markets are weak. If you like to trade to the short side, I post the weak markets. If you like to trade to the long side, I post the strong markets. Obviously, they're changing every single day, and I post them up every single day. So that's going to be included in this course. So everything together, guys, it's worth over $18,000, and this is the best Black Friday special I could possibly offer to you, because I've thrown everything I know and use in trading, and I've given you lifetime access to it all. And you can see really why this would be a good deal at $10,000, but you know, we're not even going to charge half that. In fact, we're not even going to charge what we normally charge, which is $2,000. And that's without bonuses. Because you guys are here today right now and it's Black Friday, and I'm feeling pretty good because I just got off the beach. I'm coming in with a super generous offer to join me here today for $997 for the first 30 traders only. This includes the test to take upon completion that I showed you. With our partners, you have the ability to get back with $50,000 or $100 or $150,000 in capital. Now, the program includes the test for the $50,000. Okay, so with the program, you get 1 month of the test. If you fail, you will have to pay a $99 fee to reset the test, just so we're aware. If you break a rule, there is a $99 fee to take the test again. But it's included as part of the course to apply for the $50,000 Combine account. You get $50,000 to trade with upon completion of the test. Like I said, I have a $100,000 account with our partners. I passed the test, and I'm going to do my best to help you guys pass the test. You're going to save $1,000 here. All you need to do is go to www.buythiscourse.com. This is the best opportunity you will possibly ever see to get started trading. Not only are we giving you lifetime access to everything that we offer, but we are willing to provide you an opportunity to actually make this a job. So there's a tale of two traders here, guys. You can be, frustrated Joe or my friend Josh on the right. Josh is the first kid I ever taught how to trade. Believe it or not, he's 19 years old in that photo, and I think at that point in time, I think I was 22 or 23. But Josh is the first kid I ever taught to trade, and I got him a job at a prop firm. I am nothing special. It took me years of trial and error to develop the MLT Pro trading strategies that you are getting today for a very small investment. It also took me years of networking to be able to find a prop firm partner willing to back traders that I teach at no extra cost to the trader. You can spend countless hours learning to trade the hard way, and even more time saving up the $50,000 that we can provide to you through our partners at Top Step, which would reduce your current lifestyle. If you have to save up 50 grand just to figure out whether or not you can trade, or you can go through us, learn how to trade, take the test, and we can provide the capital. This is a story here. First kid I taught how to trade, which actually got me hooked up with this firm, the reason I work with them. And this is a quote from Josh, and this is us on the CME floor when I got him that job. And Josh says, when I was 19, I spent a few months watching Jack trade and learning from him. I was a college student with no money to get started, but I'd been trading on a sim for months, felt confident, and signed up for a combine. Immediately, in a little over a month, I was trading $150,000 in a live account. Josh beat out 300 other traders and earned himself a $150,000 trading account with our partners. You really have two choices here, guys. I'm going to make this very, very simple. Do this on your own and spend thousands of dollars, time and energy, and maybe get it right, and don't work with us, and that's fine. You can save up $50,000 over the next 1 to 3 years, however long you think it's going to take you. I don't know your income. Could be a week. It could be like 10 years. Option number 2, start with us today. Let me take you under my wing. I'm going to put 100% in, and to give my students every advantage of success. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, if you want to not only learn how to trade, but to get a job at a prop firm to trade other people's capital, whether you don't have the capital or maybe you have the capital and don't want to put it up, this is an awesome opportunity, guys. And for the first 30 people, they're going to get all of the bonuses here. Today, the first 10 people, the fast action bonus, will get it. I'll let you know when number 10 is cut off. So you go to www.buythiscourse.com. Your schedule for the next 90 days. We have it all planned out. Phase 1 starts today. Phase 2 is going to start December 1st. This is when you're going to begin learning some of the strategies and participating in the chat room on a daily basis. And then Phase 3, where we put you through the test, is in where you earn the money to trade. That's going to begin January 1st. So you're going to be kicking off 2019 basically working to get hired at a prop firm. Your 2019 year could be the year that you finally make it happen when it comes to trading. You finally get the capital. You get what you need to turn your life around. You get $50,000. If you get funded with $50,000, that's included. Now, if you want to go for the $100,000 account, that's an extra $160 you'll have to pay on January 1st. The $50,000 account test is included as part of the program. If you want to trade the $100,000, it's an extra $165, and I actually think if you can go for $150,000, and I think that's an extra $210. So start 2019 with a real trading job here, guys. There's 3 steps to becoming a full-time trader. Number 1 is learning the basics of trading. Number 2, we're going to help you master the strategies of success. The same strategies I used to pass this test, I will teach you. And number 3, guys, get funded, work for real platform with real capital that can actually go about saving your life, or changing your life, I should say. This is for you if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and a desire to start your own business as a day trader, and if you are extremely motivated and willing to put the time in to be successful. I am going to give you 100%, and I expect the same back, okay? So reminder, if you sign up after this webinar, you're going to have to pay the full original price of $1,999 on the website, and I cannot guarantee that any of the bonuses will be there, as they're getting taken right now. As I am speaking, this special webinar price and the 3 special bonuses will be removed once all of the seats are filled, and you will be left high and dry unless you take action right now and decide to make 2019 the year that you're finally going to make trading your full-time job and pursue the lifestyle that you want and deserve. I've done that for myself, and I want to do nothing but share that opportunity with you guys. This is an incredible opportunity. The risk to reward ratio here, 997 is the risk. The upside is $50,000 for you to trade with. You get to keep the first $5,000 and 80% after that. This is life-changing. This is a life-changing course. This is not a trading course. This is a life-changing course. Exclusive webinar bonuses are limited to 30 students, and the course registration date will close in 7 days from today, or when the 30 students register, whatever comes first. With that being said, guys, you need to go to www.buythiscourse.com to join, because at this point in time, I only have 3 spots left. So I will go ahead and look at the questions here. Jeanette can read them off to me. Let's see here.
Hey, yeah, hang on, Jack. I didn't know you needed me to do that. Just a second. Let me see what I can find.
Okay, cool. Do you need to be, I see him now, actually.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool, yeah. So, do you need to be able to speak Spanish to live in Costa Rica? Well, I don't speak Spanish, but it definitely would help. I'll tell you that. But I've gotten by without speaking Spanish. Plenty of people speak English here. How often do they offer the combines? TJ, you want to clarify your statement? How often do they offer them? And it's buythiscourse.com. Salman, you're a floor trader? Cool, man. Let's see here. Okay, let's see a couple people's goal. Madison, Wisconsin, Denmark. Cool. Why each trade we place we feel is closely observed? Good question. No, each trade is not closely observed. The rules are put out there, and then you're free to trade however you want to trade. It's not like every single trade is observed. Basically, you can't lose $1,000 in a day, and if you lose $1,000 in a day, you break the rule. So that's up to you. Trades are not closely observed. They're not going to, the firm is not going to tell you, hey, you can't go long here, you can't go short. It is up to your own discretion. It is up to your own discretion. If there's any questions I can help you guys answer to make this happen, please let me know. Okie dokie. Once I get hired, how much of the profit do I get to keep? You get to keep 80% of the profit. So they can send it via PayPal. They can do a wire, ACH, check to your house, whatever you want. Is it observed by the people who move the market? It is. I mean, the people who move the market are hedge funds and mutual funds, and no, they're not watching. And hedge funds, you're trading the S&P futures market. Basically, it's the most liquid futures market in the world, so nobody's telling you what you should and shouldn't do. So you can do whatever you want, Salman. Can you please show the Jenny? Can you please show the grid again with the risk one to make X? Jenny, I am not going to go back to that slide right now. I'm taking, are you talking about the slide of the risk to reward, what percentage you need to be hitting? I can't go back to that slide right now because I want to make sure that people understand, everything they're getting here. But if you have anything related to the course, you can feel free to let me know. You mostly trade currencies, Salman, so you're going to be able to trade the Japanese yen, you're going to be able to trade the euro, the Australian dollar, etc. Okay, so the combine, we're going to be starting the combine for you guys. You're going to be basically kicking off 2019 with this program. So you're going to be starting with 2019, which means technically the fastest you could get funded would be on the first. You'd basically be complete. You could be funded by the third full week in January, and then really have a job trading. Yeah, Jenny, I don't look at the questions when I'm speaking, to be honest. But you can always, of course, take screenshots of presentations. To I don't know if you have a MacBook, or if in the future you should probably download a program called Jing. It's free. It's on the internet, or snag it. It's a quick way to take screenshots on your computer, and then you can save a slide that you're interested in. Guys, I have one spot left. You got to go to www.buythiscourse.com. And then take it from there. Any more questions here, guys? What is the student success rate? So Billy Bob, we just launched this program. So we have a couple people going through it. Right now, we launched it first in October. We've had 3 people successfully complete. So we've put in over $150,000 of capital into people's hands. So we have our first round of students that have taken it. Some of them are still taking it. So the thing is, some people will pass the test in 15 days. Other people, it'll take maybe 2 or 3 months. But at this point in time, until all of those people are done taking the test, we don't have, we cannot measure that rate. But I think some people never even took the test for whatever reason. Sometimes people join the course and they don't take the test. They just take the course and they don't want the funding, and they go on and just trade their own money because they don't want to give up the test and the capital. That's just a bonus. It's a bonus opportunity that we provide with this. But the thing is, our course, you're going to buy, if you buy a trading course, it just doesn't have this opportunity. We just throw this opportunity, and not only are we going to teach you how to trade, but we're actually going to give you an opportunity to make this your job. So that's really what separates this program from anything that you've ever seen. If you've seen a better offer, a better program, please let me know. because I love competition, and I love making my products as best as possible, and that's exactly what I have here today. I've put in, at this point, I want to be putting, by the end of the year, $1 million into other people's hands. I want to be putting $1 million this year into other people's hands. And at this point, I'm already 20% there. We need some info on how to choose good brokers. Salman, we cover all of the brokers in our course. We have a couple that we recommend, but of course, if you want to talk about good brokers, it's pretty easy to just read reviews online about brokers. It's not, just go into blogs and stuff. It also depends on what you want to trade, but as far as our program, we hook you up with the broker. All of our brokers are regulated and accredited brokers. Billy Bob, can I help you with any more of the questions? Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, there is one more spot left, so if anybody would like to hop on that, feel free to let me know. If you guys have any questions, you can email me, jack@majorleaguetrading.com, and I'd be happy to answer them.